Join us and help kids learn to walk, talk, and play with their peers by supporting Heart Springs pediatric programs. Heart Springs' 15th annual Pedal Fest bike ride is on Saturday, August 25th. Hop on your bike and pick the ride that's best for you. Pedal Fest has a route for everyone, from a 100K to a 5-mile family ride and 60K gravel ride. After the ride, rest your weary legs with a cold beer, lunch, and some family fun. Go to kwch.com for more information. Join the ride and help make a difference.
The city's not just built. It's grown to the needs of people. You make the infrastructure, the muscle, bone, and circulation, so natural to the body of the city that you almost forget they're even there.
If we really put everything in our name that we do, it would look like this. Professional mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, telecommunications, civil, transportation, aviation, water, wastewater, energy, land development, planning, field services, survey, geotechnical, materials testing, inspection, 3D scanning, air and water balance, engineering consultants.
Batting sixth will be Taylor Bush. Bush at third base. Dante Gutierrez bats seventh. He's the designated hitter. Hitting eighth, Austin Riemann, and Riemann is in right field. Batting ninth, Mitch Morales, and Morales is the shortstop. Again, the lineup for the Waves: Paul McClanahan, Gitter, Sauceda, Rico, Bush, Gutierrez, Riemann, and Morales. And pitching tonight for the San Diego Waves is going to be Robert Calvano. So there are your lineups for the two teams as we're about set to go. Cheney and the San Diego Waves. I mentioned Cheney was in championship week last year. They actually were in the championship game. They were the opponent for the Kansas Stars, of course, the team of former major leaguers that made appearances here at the NBC World Series 2 years in a row, and it was Cheney and the Kansas Stars that met in the championship game last year, won by the Kansas Stars, but they are now a thing of the past, at least for now. And so Cheney hoping they can make a strong run this year into the championship game and win it this time. And we'll find out a week from tonight. That's when the championship game will take place. So Wade Rayburn is in for the Diamond Dogs, left-handed hitter, and he is facing John Schultz, a left-handed pitcher. And at 7:49, we're underway, and Rayburn, first pitch swinging, bounces one to first, and it's fielded by the first baseman, Mark Sauceda, and an underhand toss to the bag where the pitcher, Schultz, is covering for a 3-1 putout to start the game. 87 degrees at game time. 7:49 was the first pitch, and there's a light breeze out of the south. It's almost identical to the weather conditions we had here last night at this time for the game we had between Hayes and the Clarinda, Iowa team. So here's Brandon Pruitt, the shortstop. John Schultz, a left-handed pitcher, delivers outside for a ball, 79 miles an hour, that one tailing away from the right-handed hitting Brandon Pruitt. Schultz, a tall left-handed pitcher, delivers again. This one swung on, bouncing ball out towards short and through to center field for a base hit. So the bouncing ball into center for Brandon Pruitt. One out and a runner at first for the Diamond Dogs as the single for Brandon Pruitt. Again, white jerseys for the San Diego Wave, and it says Boeing in black cursive letters across the white jersey. They've also got white pants with black caps, black stirrups as well. While the Cheney Diamond Dogs wearing gray jerseys, but it says Cessna. Again, this is Salute to Aviation Night. Cessna in maroon capital letters, maroon numbers on the backs of the jersey, and white pants. And a red batting helmet for Jackson Glenn, although his teammate on deck, Andrew Miller, has a dark one. No balls and a strike as Glenn took the first pitch for a strike. Now offering number two. Swung on, bouncing ball to short, to a knee. Goes the shortstop Morales, and a throw to second. Nice play. They got the lead runner 6-4 as Mitch Morales sliding to a knee to his right towards third. Backhands, then gets back up, throws across his body in time at second base for a 6-4 putout. Two away. Jackson Glenn safe at first on a fielder's choice. It's late enough, and there's enough sunlight gone that the entire infield just about is in entire shadows. Normally when we start a game around 7, just the home plate area is covered in shadows, but we're starting about 45 minutes later tonight because of the extra innings at the 3:30 game, and so a lot of the shadows that you normally see around home plate, covered just about the entire infield. Breaking ball in there for a strike to Andrew Miller, 0-1 to him. Runner at first, 2 outs, top of the first, scoreless game. Cheney Diamond Dogs batting, and it's right-hander Andrew Miller taking one outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. John Schultz, the pitcher for the San Diego Wave, pitching collegiately at Oregon Tech, and had a very busy season this past year as the 1-1 fouled back to the screen. Schultz, by the way, is tall. He is 6 feet 2 inches tall, 210 pounds. He'll be a senior this year at Oregon Tech. But last season, in 2018, he had 13 appearances and totaled 70 2/3 innings. His record was 6-3 with a 5.73 earned run average. There goes the runner. The pitch outside, and the catcher, Jake Rico, juggled the ball, and there'll be no throw to second. And a stolen base for Jackson Glenn. Well, Glenn got a pretty good jump to begin with, and Jake Rico just mishandled the ball, trying to exchange it from the glove to the throwing hand, and so there ended up being no throw to second base. Runner at second, 2 outs, top of the first inning. Cheney and San Diego's Wave, scoreless.
The auction will end at 9:30 this evening.
We have to say the San Diego Wave because there are a handful of San Diego teams in this tournament. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to Andrew Miller. And a slow breaking ball is bounced out to short, fielded by Mitch Morales, a throw to first in time, and a 6-3 putout, and the side retired. So a runner stranded at second by Cheney in the first, but no damage done after half an inning, scoreless at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road, endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com.
You can get $50 off any electrical or plumbing service call at Faunastock. Just call 943-HEAT, 943-HEAT to get $50 off that electrical or plumbing service call at Faunastock. Faunastock sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM. Bottom of the first inning, scoreless game. Keel Palm, the second baseman, steps in for San Diego. Tall, left-handed batter and second baseman for the Wave against a pitcher in Robert Calvano, who was going to pitch at Butler Community College. He's from Kansas City, but ended up getting drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals a couple years ago. He delivers a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. So Calvano is a right-handed pitcher who works from the stretch and delivers the 1-0 pitch, and he hit 94 miles an hour right there with a fastball, but it was high and away for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes, the count to Keel Palm. Calvano stretches and delivers, and this one down low, and 3 straight balls for Calvano to start the bottom of inning number 1. Keel Palm is a pretty good-sized second baseman at 6'1", but only 160 pounds. The 3-0, a fastball at 92, and it's in there for a strike. Well, 94 is the fastest I've seen so far in this World Series, which is now 8 days old. 3 balls and a strike, the count to Palm, and the pitch and he reared back and fired one outside, and that's ball 4. A 5-pitch walk to start the bottom of the first inning, and the dreaded leadoff walk issued by Calvano to Keel Palm. So that'll bring up Jimmy McClenahan, the center fielder. Robert Calvano has been released by the St. Louis Cardinals organization, but he did pitch a couple years in their organization in the minor leagues. As McClenahan steps in, the timer expired between pitches, and Calvano was not ready to throw. The batter was ready, the pitcher wasn't, so Calvano's been issued ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, a fastball at 92 inside, and just like that, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, when you're having trouble with your control, that's the last thing you need is an automatic ball issued to you because you weren't ready to pitch when the timer expired. 2 balls and no strikes, and this one inside again, and it's now 3-0. So that is 7 balls to just 1 strike so far. Of course, one of the balls was a penalty for taking too long. Nonetheless, control issues for Calvano. There's a fastball across at 92. 3 balls and a strike. The count to McClenahan. Calvano pitched for Palm Beach and Peoria in the Cardinals organization. And there is ball 4, and down to first base goes McClenahan. So back-to-back walks to start the bottom of the first. That is not good for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. Calvano's career started in the Cardinals organization in 2016. He played rookie ball in Carolina that season and then made his way to short season A-ball in 2017. And he actually played a little bit this season. He was playing in the minors for a couple of teams this season, but has been released, and now he is here in the NBC World Series pitching for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. And he first throws the first pitch to Jake Gitter, who's showing bunt, but pulls back for a ball, 1-0. Andrew Miller playing very tight at first base up the line, anticipating the bunt, even with the bag at third. Jackson Glenn playing pretty much at normal depth up the middle. No bunt sign this time for Gitter, and he takes inside, and that's ball 2. So 2 straight walks to start the bottom of the first inning for Calvano, and now he's behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. A very good hitter's pitch here for Jake Gitter. Calvano stretches, checks the runner at second, the throw home, and the 2-0 is high and away, ball 3. And John Rust, the catcher for Cheney, just swung his arms in frustration there as he is watching his pitcher really battle it with control here in the early stages of this one. 3 balls and no strikes. Runners at first and second. Calvano delivers a fastball for a strike. Needed that one badly, and now the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Gitter showed bunt. He's a left-handed batter on the very first pitch he saw, but he has not since. We'll see what he's doing here. Now he shows bunt at 3-1. Pulls it back, but it's a strike. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball fills the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lights are on at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Pretty good breeze blowing out of the south to left field, but still a very nice night for baseball. Swung on and missed strike 3, and down goes Gitter, and Calvano really needed that one for the first out of the inning. Also a pretty good crowd on hand again tonight, especially behind the dugouts up the first and third base side. This is a day that now will put everybody in action in championship week. After the end of play today, there's one more game tonight, and then everybody will have played at least once in championship week. Mark Sauceda, the first baseman, another left-handed hitter for the San Diego Wave, steps in. A left-handed batter takes a ball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Calvano stretches, looks back at second, and fires home. Swung on and a high bouncing ball over the third base dugout and into the stands. Foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mentioned there are a few teams in championship week of this NBC tournament. These San Diego Waves are one of the San Diego teams. There's also the San Diego Force and the San Diego Stars, all here playing in championship week. The 1-1, 92-mile-an-hour fastball misses up and away. 2 balls and a strike. The San Diego Force has lost. They lost to the National Junior College national team, 7-6 in 12 innings. The earlier game today had 2 Colorado teams, the Cyclones and the Black Bears. 10-1, the Colorado Cyclones over the Black Bears. Pitch fouled back out of play, and the count's even, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mark Sauceda.
Let's get you home. Check their website at cwichitahomes.com.
With runners at first and second, 1 away, Jackson Glenn now playing behind the bag over at third, pretty much even with it at first for Andrew Miller. They look for the double play up the middle. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. He reaches out and pokes one foul down the left side and on into the left field bullpen where a few relievers are sitting, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just a scattering of clouds above, straight above us, mostly blue sky. What clouds you can see are off to the east. The runner going on a hit and run. Pitch swung on, lined into right field. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to score Keel Palm from second base as he was in motion on a hit and run. It's an RBI single for Mark Sauceda, and San Diego has grabbed a 1-0 lead. Well, it was Palm that was going on the hit and run. McClanahan was staying at first base, so he only makes his way to second base and stops there. So first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning, but San Diego's Wave has scored first, and they lead the Cheney Diamond Dogs by the score of 1-0. And Jake Rico, the catcher, will step in from the right side. And Calvano tosses to Rico, low for a ball. Don't forget, it was not only a leadoff walk that Calvano issued, but 2 walks to the first 2 batters he saw to start the bottom of the first. One of them has already scored. The second one, Jimmy McClanahan, is standing out at second base. Calvano looks back at second, now delivers home, fastball away. That one at 93. 2 balls and no strikes. We've seen him hit as high as 94 so far, but he has not been accurate. 2 walks so far in the game, and a base hit as well. Jake Gitter has recorded the only out. The third batter of the inning struck out. Both runners in motion. Hot shot, line drive into left center field. That's down. It's going to roll for a while. McClanahan will score from second. Now rounding third and stopping there is going to be Mark Sauceda, but it's an RBI single for Jake Rico, and now San Diego leads by the score of 2-0. Well, in the last at bat, only 1 runner was in motion, the runner at second. This time, it was both runners from first and second, and McClanahan scored easily from second base. They thought about sending Sauceda rounding third, then held him up as the ball was being brought back toward the infield. But still, runners at first and third now for the Wave. They lead 2-0, and Taylor Bush will step in, the third baseman. Infield badly needs a double play now, but a big swing and a miss here by Bush on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-1. So 2 runs and 2 hits in the bottom of the first inning for San Diego. They're up 2-0. Cheney picked up a base hit in the top of the first, but have no runs to show for it. Here's the 0-1, up high for a ball. That one at 91. 1 ball and a strike, the count to Bush. He's a right-handed hitter. Robert Calvano from Kansas City, and again, he was going to pitch collegiately at Butler, then drafted into the major leagues. Fastball outside edge at 90, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He attended Bishop Miege High School in Kansas City, where he was an all-conference, all-state, all-metro, and all-Sun team selection. He comes from a very athletic family. He had a cousin that played volleyball at Kansas, another that played football at Kansas State, another who played baseball at Kansas State, and another cousin who played football for Pittsburgh State. So he has got athletics in the genes. Pitch down and away. Nice stop by John Rust, the catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Taylor Bush, right-handed hitting third baseman with runners at the corners, 1 away. Bottom of the first inning, 2-0 San Diego. Looked like he took something off there, but it comes in at 90. A swing and a miss for Bush, and down he goes. Well, maybe that's the key for Calvano, to take a little bit off down to 90, and he was more accurate that time when he did. A swing and a miss for Bush. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Calvano, so he's been feast or famine. He's got 2 strikeouts, but he's also walked a couple and given up a couple of base hits. He's done a little bit of everything. Here's Dante Gutierrez, the designated hitter. First pitch outside to him for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Calvano ready and delivers up high for a ball. I mentioned that he had signed with Butler. He did end up pitching collegiately for Nebraska Omaha, which now just has changed their name. They go by Omaha at this point, but he did pitch for them briefly. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen by Dante Gutierrez, the left-handed hitting designated hitter for the San Diego Wave. He's 5'10", 195 pounds, out of Chula Vista, California. Undecided where he will head to college this coming season for his junior year. The 2-on, definitely something taken off there. That was a changeup at 81, but high and away for a ball. 3 balls and a strike to Gutierrez. 2 walks to start the inning, issued by Calvano, and those 2 runners have come around to score, and there's another walk, the 3rd of the inning, to load the bases as Dante Gutierrez heads down to first. And that'll send Jake Rico to second base. Mark Sauceda already standing at third. So with the bases loaded, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, Austin Riemann, will step in now. So Sauceda badly needing to get out of this inning here. Not only has he struggled, he's thrown a lot of pitches, and there's already action down in the Cheney bullpen. So a reliever already warming up because of the troubles in the first inning for Calvano. 1 ball and no strikes. He works from the stretch, and he'll throw home. A big swing and a miss for Riemann, and the count's even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Austin Riemann from Escondido, California, playing at Feather River Community College, as this one is sliced foul on a line right side, out of play. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody concerned about the runners on base. They're all playing at normal depth with 2 outs. They can get a force at any base. Cheney definitely hoping for that with the bases loaded, having already given up 2 runs here in the bottom of the first inning, trailing 2-0. Ground ball to first base. They're going to get a ground ball out. Andrew Miller down to an E.
Never-ending summer featuring 311 and the Offspring. September 9th in Trust Bank Arena. With special guest Gym Class Heroes. Tickets on sale now at selectaseat.com or by phone at 855-755-SEAT. 311 and the Offspring in concert.
Here's what you'll win with your purchase of a raffle ticket tonight. 2 tickets to any event at the Kansas Star Arena, and dinner for 2 at the Kitchen Buffet, all donated by the Kansas Star Casino. 4 Kansas pint glasses donated by Luke Sivnas in Old Town. Wichita's Kansas Keeper of the Plains steel artwork, and a mini Wichita flag with the Dutch Nest stand. All that is up for grabs tonight. All you have to do is purchase your Martin Pringle raffle ticket. Help out the folks at Heart Springs tonight with their Martin Pringle charitable raffle. Support the NBC World Series by making a stop at our merchandise tent. We have baseball caps, t-shirts, and mini bats. The tent is sponsored by Fauna Stock. From heating and cooling to plumbing and electric, Fauna Stock has been serving the greater Wichita area for over 70 years.
Pipe the music down quick because we're about to go.
Designated hitter, number 20.
I can't hear program. Moving along quickly between innings, already 2 pitches thrown here in the top of the second inning to Treston Kennard by John Schultz. Both of them missed for 2 balls. So it's 2 balls and no strike count to Kennard. Cheney trailing San Diego's Wave 2-0 top of the second. Now Schultz delivers a 78-mile-an-hour pitch that catches the outside half, called a strike. 2 balls and a strike to Treston Kennard, whose Diamond Dogs trail San Diego 2-0 as we start the second. Schultz delivers the 2-1, and that one misses away. 73-mile-an-hour changeup. And the count is now 3 balls and a strike. Cheney picked up a base hit in the top of the first inning, but unable to score. San Diego scored twice off 2 hits. Pitch line foul right side, out of play. And the count's now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. I mentioned that John Schultz, pitching at Oregon Tech collegiately, and had a 6-3 record this past season. There's ball 4, high and away, and down to first base goes Treston Kennard. After a full count pitch, he's issued a walk. In 70 and 2/3 innings this past season, Schultz struck out 48 and walked just 29, so not a bad walk to strikeout ratio there. He gave up 87 hits in 70 and 2/3 though, and 45 earned runs. And again, 5.73 his earned run average this past season. Showing bunt, Kyler Castillo as he steps in. Misses. Looked like he was out over on top of the bunt, of the pitch, and a strike, 0-1 to him. Runner at first. Nobody out. Top of the second inning, Cheney up trailing 2-0. Pitch outside for a ball at 79. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count at the plate to Kyler Castillo, the starting left fielder for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. Schultz will stretch. Not a big lead over at first for Treston Kennard, especially considering he's looking at a left-handed pitcher throwing, and a throw over, in fact, and back easily is Kennard. John Schultz, 6'2", 210, out of Carlsbad, California, delivers outside for a ball. Almost looked like a pitch out, but I don't think that was the intent, but it was the location. He missed well outside. 2 balls and a strike. If it was an intended pitch out, Jake Rico didn't show it. He was jumping out late to catch that one. 2 balls and a strike. Schultz stretches, and he delivers, and tries to work the outer edge and misses again, and the count's now 3-1. He is not a hard thrower. He is consistently in the high 70s. A lot of movement on his pitches. Sometimes will throw ones that tail away from right-handed batters. Here's a ground ball to second. Could be 2. Scooped up by Palm to second for 1. The relay to first is low, but a nice dig by Mark Saucede at first for a 4-6-3 double play. Well, Palm did a good job of scooping that one up and getting rid of it in a hurry, and then Morales, the shortstop's throw to first was low. It bounced in, but Saucede, a nice dig. So 4-6-3 for the double play, as Kennard was retired 4-6 at second base, and there's 2 outs now, nobody on, and Hunter Douglas will step in. He takes his strike, 0-1. Well, so many times the leadoff walk in an inning can come back to haunt you, but it won't here as Cheney grounds into a double play. There's another one that tails away from a right-handed hitter from the left-handed throwing Schultz at 75 miles an hour, but it was too far away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Schultz fires the 1-1 in there for a strike at 81. And the count's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schultz from the line now delivers. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. You can see the undershirt for John Schultz. It's a black undershirt out of his white jersey. Just a few inches of black sleeve out of the white jersey, coming down about to his elbows. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Lifted right side, foul territory. Saucede, the first baseman, calling near the first.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Take that long walk back to the room. Watch reruns off the moon all afternoon.
Midwest Kia and Rusty Eck Ford sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Thanks to them and Davis Liquor, several Wichita locations. We appreciate their sponsorship as well of this, the 84th NBC from Lawrence Dumont Stadium. 86 degrees right now here in Wichita. The left field scoreboard reads as we are ready to start the bottom half of inning number 2. San Diego's Wave leading the Cheney Diamond Dogs by the score of 2-0. And Mitch Morales, the only hitter for San Diego not to bat in the bottom of the first inning, just broke his bat fouling the first pitch outside the bag at first. As the ball rolls down to the bullpen, he's got to get a new piece of lumber. 0-1 to Morales. Morales then back to the top of the order with Keel Palm and Jimmy McClanahan. So 9-1-2 for San Diego, who is trying to add to an early 2-0 lead. Robert Calvano works from the stretch. Here's the 0-1 inside for a ball. I mentioned that Calvano had signed with Butler Community College, never played there. He ended up going to Omaha and then Johnson County Community College as well in Overland Park, Kansas. Those are the two colleges he ended up pitching at. Another one grounded foul. More solid contact this time for Morales as it bounced down towards the right field bullpen. He's down in the count, 1-2 strikes. Calvano was picked in the 38th round of the 2016 draft by the St. Louis Cardinals before going on to their minor leagues. And he spent a couple seasons there, including earlier this year. Pitch down in the dirt, low, and the count's even 2-2. I say it's down in the dirt. This is an all-artificial surface field at Lawrence Dumont, except the pitcher's mound made of dirt, but everything else, artificial surface. 2 strikes. And the pitch. Soft floater, left field down. That'll be a base hit. Well, Morales didn't get a great piece of it, but he muscled it into left field. And a leadoff single for San Diego here to start the bottom of the second inning. So the Wave have had their leadoff batter aboard in each of the first 2 innings. Keel Palm started the bottom of the first inning with a walk. He'll step up there now with the leadoff batter aboard, Mitch Morales, who just singled. Calvano always works from the stretch, so he certainly will here with a runner at first. Delivers outside for a ball. Fastball at 91. 1 no strikes to Palm.
Second baseman number 2, Kyle Palm.
Calvano looks over his left shoulder, delivers, trying to work that outside edge again. The first pitch was at 91 and it just missed the outside edge. This one in at 90 and just misses. 2 no strikes, the count to Palm. Calvano delivers the 2-0. Similar location, a little bit tighter though, and across the black. Called a strike, 2-1. Ben Harlow calling balls and strikes tonight. Mark Wagers is the first base umpire. Josh Shepis is the third base umpire. The 2-1. Outside again, ball 3, and Calvano continues to miss away to the left-handed hitter. 3 balls and a strike. Keel Palm is from Murrieta, California, attending Palomar Community College, and he fouls one outside the coach's box on the third base side, and that fills the count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Palm attending Palomar Community College, where he was a freshman. 6'1" and only 160 pounds. 3 balls, 2 strikes with the leadoff batter aboard at first. That's Mitch Morales. The 3-2 to Palm. Fouled back just off to our left. Banged off near the roof of one of the luxury suites, a couple of booths over from us. So the count stays full at 3-2. 2-0 San Diego Waves over the Cheney Diamond Dogs. Bottom of inning number 2. Robert Calvano stretches, throws to first, and diving back in is Mitch Morales. Action still in the Cheney bullpen. It started in the first inning because Calvano was in all kinds of trouble early. He walked both of the first 2 batters he faced in the first inning. They both came around to score. There goes the runner, the pitch up high, ball 4. So the throw is a moot point to second base as it's a walk issued to Palm for the second time tonight, and that's going to get the coach out of the bullpen for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. And I think that is their head coach, Pat Hahn, and looking down toward the turf, looking a little frustrated as it's been a struggle for Robert Calvano. He's given up 3 hits, and that is his 3rd walk, and they've already called for relief help as Calvano just did not have it tonight. And he will exit after 1 inning plus just 2 batters in the second inning. Calvano's night is through. Pitching change being made. Timeout on the field. Bottom of the second inning. The score, the San Diego Waves 2 and the Cheney Diamond Dogs nothing. This is the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM. Well, the new pitcher for the Cheney Diamond Dogs is right-hander Jeff Wilson. So Wilson out of Plano, Texas, and Grayson College, which is in Sherman, Texas, is the relief pitcher that'll come on and relieve Robert Calvano, who struggled through one inning plus two batters here in the second inning. Calvano responsible for both runners aboard after he gave up a single and a walk to start the bottom of inning number 2. In the first inning, it was also a struggle for Calvano. He gave up 2 walks to the first 2 batters he faced in the game and 2 base hits as well in the first inning. 2 runs for San Diego scored. So it's the Waves 2 and Cheney nothing as we're in the bottom of inning number 2. And Jimmy McClenahan will step in for San Diego. A leverage situation for sure for the Waves with first and second. Nobody out, bouncing ball to second. Fielded by the second baseman Carter. A throw to first with the pitcher covering in time. Nice job by Wilson to get off the mound and over to first base. The runners do move up, so that worked like a bunt. Now runners at second and third with one away. So McClenahan is retired 4-1 at first base. Morales is at third, and Palm is at second base for Jake Gitter. As Wilson will go to the stretch. Look, the runners at second and third, nobody holding him on. Showing bunt is Gitter with runners at second and third. He swiped at that one and missed it. No balls and a strike, the count to Gitter. Left-handed hitter. Jackson Glenn, the third baseman, even with the bag, with a base runner right to his right. That's Mitch Morales. Nobody at all worried about the runner at second, Keel Palm. Middle infielders playing at their normal position as if he wasn't even there. Pitch down and in for a ball, 1-1. Normally you'll at least see one of those middle infielders cheating toward the bag a little bit, maybe pounding their glove like they're coming to cover the bag or try to get a tag, but not now. Line drive up the middle, base hit. That's going to score Morales easily from third. They're going to wave the runner from second, Palm home. He will score sliding as well as the relay is cut off. A 2 RBI single for Jake Gitter, and San Diego has doubled their lead now. It's 4-0. Well, that one pretty much right back up the chute. And Palm showing good speed from second base, waved around. There was no doubt about it. He was going to score as well. So 2-run score on the single for Gitter, and it's 4-0. San Diego's got the lead. And now the next batter is Mark Sauceda. Bouncing ball to short. They'll get one at second. The relay to first is in time. A 6-4-3 double play that Cheney badly needed. But for the second straight inning, Cheney allows 2 runs on 2 hits. We go to the third. San Diego 4, Cheney nothing at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Kansas Gas Service delivers natural gas to many of the companies you know, ensuring they have the energy they need to grow and build strong communities. providing cost-effective, safe, and reliable natural gas for a better tomorrow today. Kansas Gas Service.
Well, the San Diego Waves with a pair of 2-run innings and a pair of innings where they also collected 2 hits. And they lead the Cheney Diamond Dogs 4-0 as we start inning number 3. And for the Diamond Dogs, it'll be John Russ, the catcher, that'll lead off. Takes the ball down and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Russ from John Schultz, the left-handed pitcher for San Diego, who throws this one in low. That went in between the legs of both the catcher, Jake Rico, and the home plate umpire, Ben Harlow, and back to the screen. So the count is 2 balls and no strikes for Russ. Russ, then Brock Carter and Wade Rayburn, 8-9-1 for Cheney, who's already spotted San Diego 4 runs. It's 4-0 as we start inning number 3. And this one misses just a little bit outside. So Schultz staked to a 4-0 lead, but has not exactly come out throwing strikes here in the 3rd. And this offering is outside as well, and that's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to John Russ, and he'll trot down to first base. The last thing you want to do when you're up 4-0, it's bad enough to walk the leadoff batter in any inning in general, but when you're leading 4-0, you really have more incentive to come up there and just throw strikes. Get your offense right back up there again instead of leadoff walk issued. And if that's not enough, it was the number 8 hitter in the lineup. And now here's Brock Carter, the number 9 hitter, taking down and away. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. So Schultz will go back to the stretch now with a runner at first, nobody out. Top of the 3rd inning, 4-0 Cheney trailing San Diego's Waves. Throw over to first again, and nothing doing. One more game tonight. The Everett Merchants will take on the San Antonio Angels, and after that game, everybody in championship week will have played 1 game. This one tails away at 79 from the right-handed hitter, but it catches the outside edge, called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a pool play format this week, just like it was last week, through Wednesday. Throw over to first, nothing doing. And then at the end of Wednesday, the top 2 teams from all 4 pools will form an 8-team tournament starting Thursday. Breaking ball, a slider just barely missed. At 67, a lazy curve, but stayed outside. 2 balls and a strike. And then starting Thursday, it's a simple single elimination tournament. We start with 8, and Saturday at the start of the day we'll have 2 playing a championship game, and at the end we'll just have 1. Pitch outside for ball. The count's now 3-1. And John Schultz, you can tell he's frustrated. He has lost his control here in the inning. He walked the leadoff batter, Russ, who's at first, down in the count here, 3-1 to Brock Carter, and he just walked behind the mound and just looked out into center field, trying to regather himself, and it paid off because he just throws a strike, and the count's now full at 3-2. So maybe the gathering of his thoughts helped him to regroup and refocus as he delivered a strike there. Now the count's full. We'll see what John Russ is doing over at first base. He doesn't have a very big lead. Left-handed pitcher as well is going to keep that from happening. Pitch swung on and line foul right side. I don't know the speed of John Russ, but he's also a catcher. Usually they're not ones who are the most fleet of foot. But we've already seen some catchers in this tournament who were and have picked up some stolen bases. Russ isn't going anywhere here, and the 3-2 is outside, ball 4. That's another reason why you don't need to try and steal, because John Schultz has lost his control here in the inning. Why not just let him continue to throw balls and give free passes? He's done that twice to start the top of the 3rd inning. So San Diego has a coach out of the dugout to come talk to John Schultz as he's issued a pair of walks to start the top of inning number 3 as we'll go back to the top of the order. Thanks to Cherry Oaks Golf Course in Cheney for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. It's a private course atmosphere in a public setting. Cherry Oaks Golf Course in Cheney. Team Electric also sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Our thanks to Rod Stevenson, who runs Team Electric, for sponsoring our coverage, and congratulations to Rod and his Kansas Cannons for a nice run in this tournament. They played last week in pool play and went 3-0, and then in the pool play-in tournament, they lost their game. Otherwise, they'd be playing still this week. So back to the top of the order we go. Wade Rayburn will step in, left-handed hitter who grounded out to first to start the ball game. Runners at first and second here. Nobody out. Top of the third inning. Cheney trailing San Diego 4-0. Through the stretch goes Schultz. Playing tightly in at first base is Sauceda. There is a bunt. It's a high bouncer foul, though, behind the plate. So the count is 0-1. Taylor Bush over at third base, not charging in with a runner at second heading his way. He's staying at third to cover a possible throw there on a force out. So if Rayburn can get one up the third baseline, it could roll for a while, and he may have a base hit himself. Cheating in from first is Sauceda, inching his way in now, still stepping. About a third the way to the plate from first. He tries to go up the third base side, but it goes foul. And the count is 0-2, and that likely, not certainly, but it likely will take away the bunt now with 2 strikes. Cheney has fallen behind quickly, 4-0 in the third, but plenty of time left. Trying to play some small ball here and start chipping away, but again, with a no-ball, 2-strike count, we'll see if the bunt sign is taken off. It is, and it came inside and hit him. Somewhere around the right front arm to the left-handed hitter, and they are loaded now for Cheney. So down to third base goes Russ. Down to second is Carter. And on at first is Wade Rayburn. So for John Schultz here in the third inning, staked to a 4-0 lead, it's gone walk, hit batter to the first 3 batters he's faced. There's action down in the San Diego bullpen, and all of a sudden, the Cheney Diamond Dogs have something brewing here. Bases loaded, nobody out for Brandon Pruitt, the shortstop, who singled back in the first inning. And he bounces one just outside the line at third here. And Taylor Bush, the third baseman, stepped across the line into foul territory right in front of the bag. He was ready to throw home and get a force out, but the ball was called foul by Ben Harlow. And rightly so. It had just crossed into foul territory. So no balls and a strike, the count to Pruitt. Through the stretch, Schultz, and the 0-1 taken outside for a ball. And the count now even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pruitt was retired at second base after he singled on a force out when Jackson Glenn grounded to short. He reached on a fielder's choice, but Pruitt retired 6-4 at second base. Slider taken for a strike. And the count's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4 runs, 4 hits for San Diego. No runs on a hit for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. No errors in the game as of yet. They play tight at the corners, look for a double play up the middle. The pitch lifted, shallow right field. Coming on is Austin Riemann. He's going to slide. He can't get there. He trapped the ball. Everybody will move up 90 feet. The runners had to hold in case that ball was caught. So they all move up 1 base, but that means Russ scores from third on an RBI bloop single for Brandon Pruitt, and it's now 4-1 as Cheney is on the board. Well, the Diamond Dogs will take that. They don't care how softly that one was hit. They need base runners and base hits, and they got one right there. A soft little floater, and Austin Riemann in right field slid forward, tried to make a sliding catch, but it bounced and deflected off his glove. So here now is Jackson Glenn taking one outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Same thing in the infield here. Up the middle, they play for a double play. They'll allow the run to score at home. They do play even or just inside, maybe, in the case of Sauceda at first, of the bag at the corners. The 1-0 Misses just away, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. So trouble here for the Californian, John Schultz, out of Carlsbad, working from the stretch with the bases loaded still, nobody out. Delivers here, this one line foul down towards the San Diego bullpen. It'll land between the pitcher and the catcher, who were warming up down there in the right field pen. Bounce off the fence and out towards the field of play. 2 balls and a strike to count at the plate to Jackson Glenn. As a sophomore in 2017, John Schultz led his team with 10 starts and 61 innings pitched. He also struck out 44. He could certainly use one right here. 2 balls and a strike to count. With the bases loaded, nobody out. Cheney's got a run in. They trail 4-1. This pitch down low, and the count's now 3-0. That breaking ball tailing down and in to the right-handed hitter, and all of a sudden, the Diamond Dogs of Cheney now 1 ball away from getting a free pass that'll score a run and cut the deficit in half. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. He walked in a run. As Carter will score from third on ball 4, and it's now a 4-2 game. Well, this inning could not have started off any worse for John Schultz. After a 4-0 lead, he is struggling big time here in the third. He's given up 3 walks, a hit batsman, and a single. So Glenn gets the RBI. They're loaded for Andrew Miller, who takes a 0-1. So Wade Rayburn now down at third base. Pruitt's at second. Glenn is on at first. Andrew Miller grounded out to short back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1, but a chance to do some real damage here. The 0-1 lifted, high fly ball, shallow right field. Coming over to his left is Riemann. He'll make the catch, sliding to the turf. Runner will tag from third, and Rayburn will score. It's a sacrifice fly from Miller. He'll get the RBI, and it's now a 4-3 ball game. And Cheney will certainly take that. This early in the game, you just want to get some single runs back. You don't need the big hit. So in that regard, a good job by Miller to at least get a run home, and also he gets the runner Pruitt over to third base as well. So now the tying run is 90 feet away. Cheney with runners at the corners, 2 away for Treston Kennard, the designated hitter. Schultz from the stretch to Kennard, fouled back to the backstop, 0-1. Kennard walked to lead off the second inning, so no official at bat for him yet. Big right-handed batter with the number 20 and maroon letters on the back of his gray jersey. Throw over to first. Back standing in easily is Jackson Glenn. Kennard is from Lubbock, Texas, attending the University of New Orleans. The 0-1, high fly ball right side over toward the foul line in shallow right field. The second baseman comes over. That's Palm. He'll make the catch, and he thought that was the third out of the inning. That was just the second out of the inning, and a runner tags at third and scores. Palm started running the ball in. Well, the scoreboard showed 1 out, and that actually was the third out of the inning. And now there's some confusion. I've only got 1 out in my book. The scoreboard had 1 out, and the runner tagged from third, and the umpires are now talking about things. But the scoreboard just says 2 outs. I've only got 2 outs. And Cheney's coming back out into the playing field. That was just the first out of the inning, the second out of the inning. And they are going to count the run. That was the third out, but the score is 4-4. So we're going to take a timeout. That was the end of the inning. All kinds of confusion But Cheney has taken the field. They have tied this game with 4 in the third. So let's go to the bottom of the third. Cheney 4, San Diego 4 at the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM.
At Davis Moore, we pride ourselves on our ability to provide a safe and reliable driving experience to all of our customers. When we say that safety is our top priority, we mean it. That's why every single one of our pre-owned vehicles goes through a 171-point inspection before it ever goes on our lot. And with our Davis Moore 360 guarantee, you can drive forever, worry-free. So let us prove to you that we have the best car care and best customer experience, and why nobody beats a Davis Moore deal. Come by any one of our 5 Davis Moore locations or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
Leading off for the Bowling Bombers, San Diego Waves. Catcher number 24, Jake Rico.
Jake Rico starting the bottom of the third inning, sends a fly ball to center field. One pitch, one quick out here as Wade Rubin makes the catch. One away as we start all over now, tied at 4, and didn't really have time to speak to anybody between innings. I think I know what happened. I believe that the infield fly rule was called, and so that's an automatic out at the fly ball, and then there was a double play at first, but the run did score in time. I believe that's what happened. I actually looked away after the ball was caught because the runner was breaking for home, but I'm guessing there was a double play at first, but the run still scored and the infield fly rule was in effect. And that's how Cheney still managed to tie the score. Nonetheless, 4-4 is our score. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Taylor Bush. And the 1-1, a big swing and a miss, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Wilson back out again for his first full inning of work for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. He came on with nobody out on the bottom of the third. And he delivers one in tight to the right-handed hitting Bush, who spins out of the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, that's my guess as to what happened. But they did say the runner coming home from third did score before the final out was made. Strike 3 called on the outside edge. Bush doesn't like that called as he's caught looking. That's the first strikeout of the game for Wilson, who's on in relief. And 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the third inning. So a potentially big shutdown inning for the Cheney Diamond Dogs here. They picked up 4 in the top of the third to tie the score. They're 1 out away from getting their sticks right back up in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch is strike to Dante Gutierrez, and Josh Wilson right now is throwing, or Jeff Wilson throwing like his team just got a big boost in momentum, and he just fired a 91-mile-an-hour pitch, swung on and missed for his strike, and it's now 0-2. So on the verge of a very quick 1-2-3. The 0-2, hot shot, look out into the stands. That one screaming, and it caromed off of the tunnel, the railing of a tunnel, and then bounced over the stands and out of play. But that was a hot shot line drive. You've got to pay attention when you're sitting here behind the dugouts. Fortunately, everyone okay. The 0-2, strike 3 called, and Gutierrez doesn't like that call either.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Lawrence Dumont Stadium. I'm KSN Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman. A few showers will be around the area for today heading into early afternoon. After that, looks like conditions will dry out for us tonight and into tomorrow. One of the things that you might not necessarily love will be the winds. They will be strong today out of the south, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Some gusts will be up to 35 miles per hour, and it looks like we will have intervals of clouds and sunshine as highs this afternoon climb into the lower 90s. For tonight, it'll be partly cloudy and warm. Thunderstorms will develop across northwest Kansas and southwest Nebraska, but none of that will make its way here into the Wichita area. The overnight low will be 72, and then tomorrow temperatures will be even hotter to 95. And yes, those winds are not going anywhere anytime soon with partly cloudy conditions. Enjoy your time here at the ballpark and have a great one.
Well, the Cheney Diamond Dogs weren't in the field long. Now right back up to the plate, trying to take their first lead of the night as we start the inning number 4. Cheney 4, San Diego 4. And the first pitch of the inning, outside a ball to Kyler Castillo, the left fielder for the Diamond Dogs. And he now swings and chops one high over the mound. Shortstop Morales charging in. Fields gets rid of it in a hurry and fires to first in time. Nice play by Morales. That was a high bouncing ball off of either the plate or the turf. Either way, it was a very high bounce. So Morales charging in from short had to catch and get rid of it in a hurry, and he did for a 6-3 putout. One away. Our thanks to Shire Graphics for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series, and also Just Right Auto Repair. First pitch swinging, Hunter Douglas, and he lifts one to center field. Trotting over to his right is Jimmy McClanahan. He makes the catch, and now we're on the verge of a very quick top of the 4th inning as well. 2 quick outs here in the top of inning number 4, as John Russ will step in now. 4-4 our score. Cheney has been out hit 4-2, but thanks to some walks, a few of them, a hit batsman in the top of the 3rd inning, they scored 4. John Russ takes the first offering, a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and no strikes to him. Russ, in fact, led off the last inning with a walk and later came around to score. Here's the 1-0, swung on and missed, 75-mile-an-hour change, and the count is even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. First game of championship week for these two teams. And another slow breaking ball misses outside at 68. And the count's now 2 balls and a strike. Dark sky above in Wichita now. Sun is set off to the west. The 4th pitch misses down and away. The count's now 3-1. Gorgeous night in Wichita again. We've really had a lot of good weather. Had one day affected by rain a couple different times last week, but other than that, the weather's been just about perfect. 84 degrees right now. The 3-1 swung on and fouled back and out of play. And the count's now full at 3-2. Brock Carter waits on deck, but there are 2 outs here in the inning. Nobody on, 2 away, top of the 4th, tied at 4. John Schultz from the windup delivers. Slow breaking ball bounced out to short. Scooped up on the 3rd, hot by Morales. A throw to first in time. And a very easy 1-2-3 for John Schultz in the top of the 4th. After 3.5, tied at 4 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Throughout Kansas. Green Vision Group, never miss a moment. Special thanks to Dr. Doug Blackman.
Bottom of the 4th inning, a 4-all tie. Cheney and the San Diego Waves locked in a good one. It was a 2-run first inning for San Diego, a 2-run second inning for the Waves, and then, no pun intended, but a wave of runs for Cheney in the top of the 3rd inning. They scored all 4 of theirs in that inning to tie it up. That's where we are now as we head to the bottom half of inning number 4, tied at 4 apiece. For those of you watching on YouTube, I should clarify, if you missed it earlier, tonight is Salute to Aviation Night. So on the score bug there, you might see the Cessna Bobcats. That is Cheney. And you might see the Boeing Bombers. That is San Diego. First pitch here to start the bottom of the 4th to Brock Carter, fouled back and over toward the first base coach's box, and Mark Sauceda's there for a fly out to first base, 1 away. Because of the tribute to Aviation Night, these two teams are wearing jerseys paying tribute to some of the great aviation history in Wichita. And Cheney is wearing jerseys saying Cessna, and San Diego is wearing a jersey that says Boeing. First pitch as we go back to the top of the order to Wade Rayburn. Taken for a strike, 0-1. And so again, if you're watching on YouTube and you see the score bug, the Cessna Bobcats represent Cheney and the Boeing Bombers represent the San Diego Waves. Pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our thanks to Rod Stevenson, our friend at Team Electric, for bringing that to my attention. The 1-1 swung on and missed. I've been sticking with the regular names of Cheney and San Diego primarily for our radio audience. But there are plenty of you watching on YouTube as well. Second strike to Wade Rayburn. The count's 1-2, and now he lines one foul back and out of play. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes still. Already the third plate appearance for Wade Rayburn, although he's only got 1 official at bat, that in the first inning when he grounded out to first, because in the third inning he was hit by a pitch. Later came home and scored, so he is 0 for 1 officially. The 1-2 lunged at and missed, strike 3, and down he goes. And all of a sudden, the pitching has made a turn for the better here as a strikeout by Jeff Wilson issued. He retired this side in the fourth inning, or the bottom of the third, and good start here in the bottom of the fourth inning. As now Kyle Palm will step in. And Palm lines one foul left side down toward the bullpen in left field, 0-1 to him. Palm with a pair of walks tonight, so no official at bat yet for him. And he scored both times. Those walks just have a funny way of hurting you. Time and time again. The 0-1 inside, and that one hit him. And so still no official at bat for Palm. He's been walked twice and now hit by a pitch, and he'll make his way down to first base. So a runner at first, 2 away, and Jimmy McClanahan will step in now. And the first pitch to McClanahan swung on and missed for a strike, and it's 0-1. McClanahan is 0 for 1. Grounded out to second in the second inning, walked and scored in the first. And already a host of players for these two teams have not only been walked, but they've come around to score. Runner Bluff's going to second, nothing doing. Pitch down and away for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jimmy McClanahan. Wilson through the stretch. And fires home, swung on and missed, strike 2. And the count's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. McClanahan has an unusual ground out in the second inning at 4-1. He grounded to the second baseman on a slow roller, and it was actually the pitcher that had to cover. There goes the runner down to second base, and safe with a stolen base is Keel Palm. So Palm gets the steal, and he is now at second base. So now that represents the go-ahead run, and a base hit to the outfield could give San Diego the lead back. They led 4-0 to start the game until the 4-run third for Cheney. There's strike 3 called, though, and down.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Don't forget, in the 7th inning, we'll have our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway. A lucky listener will receive a free hamburger meal at Champs Sports Bar and Grill. That includes a hamburger, french fries, and a non-alcoholic beverage. Champs Sports Bar and Grill on South Seneca, helping sponsor our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. On we go now to the 5th inning, and Brock Carter leads off for the Cheney Diamond Dogs, takes the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes, and then at the letters, outside edge, called a strike on pitch number 2, and the count is now even at 1-1. 4 runs, 4 hits for San Diego's Wave, and 4 runs, 2 hits for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. Pitch down and away, and the count's now 2 balls and a strike to Brock Carter. Carter, well, like so many others I've already mentioned, has walked in the game and scored. That's his only plate appearance so far. Takes a breaking ball down and in and almost hit him, and the count's now 3-1. So walks galore in this game for both teams. It's been a struggle with command for the 2 pitchers in this game, and 3 balls and a strike, the count here, in fact. John Schultz works from the windup, ready and delivers. Pitch swung on, bouncing ball left side and through for a base hit. So the leadoff batter aboard for the Diamond Dogs here in the top of the 5th inning as Brock Carter bounces one through on the left side. And we'll go back to the top of the order now with Wade Rayburn. That's the 2nd time tonight that Cheney has had their leadoff batter aboard. It's Brock Carter at first, and Wade Rayburn will step in now. That's also the 3rd base hit of the game for the Diamond Dogs. First pitch here to Rayburn, ground ball to short, could be 2 to second for 1, over to first in time, and just like that, a very quick 6-4-3 double play, and there are now 2 outs. If this were on natural service, that might not be a 6-4-3 double play. It was a fairly slow rolling baseball out to short, but this is an all-turf infield except for the mound, and that ball, even on what normally might be a slow roller, can get to you pretty quickly out in the field to turn 2, and that's what happened there. Here's Brandon Pruitt now taking a strike, right-handed batter, 0-1 to Pruitt. Good start to the game for Pruitt. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. He's got a couple of singles. The 0-1 fouled back behind the plate over the backstop, and quickly he's behind in the count, 0-2. Pruitt's RBI came in the 3rd inning after his single. He brought home John Russ from third base. The 0-2, slow changeup lifted, center field, charging on is McClanahan. He's going to have to stop and play it on a hop for a 2-out single. Well, McClanahan came charging on at first, and if this weren't an artificial surface field, he might have been willing to gamble and dive for that one, but you can get in trouble doing that in a hurry because it can bounce over you, get by you, and roll and bounce for a long time. Whereas on natural grass, that won't happen. So he opted wisely with 2 outs probably not to dive and let it land in front of him. First pitch now to Jackson Glenn, a strike, but there goes the runner to second. He's safe. Brandon Pruitt on no throw, a stolen base. That was a slow breaking ball that bounced in, and so Pruitt got a good start anyway, a good jump, and he's safe at second without even a throw. No balls and a strike. It was a strike again to Glenn. Glenn, who is 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded into a fielder's choice. Schultz stretches, fires home, and this one ripped to left field. Moving to his left is Gitter. He's going to reach up and make a nice catch. Sliding to the warning track. What a play by Gitter. Running toward the track in left field to his left, diagonally toward the fence. He leaped and made a running catch, then
the wait is over. The multi-platinum award-winning duo Sugarland back on tour for the first time in 5 years. Still the same 2018 tour. Saturday, August 18th at Entrust Bank Arena. The undeniable distinctive sound of Sugarland with special guests Frankie Ballard and Lindsay L. Tickets are on sale now at selectaseat.com. Get ready for Sugarland.
Wingnuts are back in town on Tuesday, August 14th. Don't miss out on your chance to go home with a replica Wingnuts jersey courtesy of Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. Hey, when you shop and donate at Goodwill, you give people with disabilities and their barriers purpose, pride, and dignity. Learn more about how Goodwill helps create a stronger community at goodwillks.org. And check out your program for a money-saving coupon on your next visit to Goodwill. Outfielder number 22, Jake Gitter.
Jake Gitter to start the bottom of the fifth inning for the San Diego Waves, tied with Cheney in a good one. 4-4. First pitch to Gitter. Comes up empty, swinging, 0-1. Now the 0-1. He swings and sends one on the right side, and the second baseman slides to his right. Carter gets a glove on it, but can't come up with it cleanly, and that'll be a base hit for Jake Gitter. Well, you can play a little bit deeper on this all-turf field if you're a middle infielder, and that's what Carter was doing. So he could go into shallow right field, slide after that one, and try to scoop it up and make a throw to first. And he almost was able to come up with it cleanly and do that, but still a very tough play and a base hit for Gitter. So here's Mark Sauceda now, the first baseman, with a leadoff batter aboard. And Sauceda takes inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Jeff Wilson out there in relief for the Cheney Diamond Dogs came on in just the second inning with nobody out, but did a good job, including getting a double play on a ground ball, and he has done well since. Similar location, bouncing ball to second. Carter can't handle this one either, and everybody's safe. And that was a base hit as well in a similar spot. So back-to-back base hits, both of them gloved by Bruce Carter, the second baseman, but both very tough plays and basically what's shallow right field. So in neither case was it an error. 2 base hits to start the inning. So here's Jake Rico after Jeff Wilson was cruising along, trouble here. And Rico sends one straight back over the backstop. Bangs against the facade of the press box off to our right, 0-1. That one had a lot of steam on it as well. No balls and a strike, the count to Rico. Rico is 1 for 2. He has singled and flied out to center field. Andrew Miller at first for Cheney, playing pretty much even with the bag. A little bit behind him at third is Jackson Glenn, and then up the middle, they're looking for a ground ball double play. Fastball at 90, and there for a strike. And Jeff Wilson ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. Rico is from San Diego. He's attending Cal State San Marcos, where he is a junior. 0-2. There go the runners, and the pitch is high. The throw to third, and the tag, and he's safe. Oh, and the Cheney fans don't like that, neither do the players. Jackson Glenn just covered his mouth with his right throwing hand, almost as if he didn't want to say what was on his mind. But that throw looked to be in time. And from up here, the tag looked good as well. But instead, it's going to be a double steal. So safe at third is Glitter. Safe at second is Sauceda. And now the count to Jake Rico after that pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So San Diego threatening here now. They've got 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Jake Rico's at the plate. And the 2-2 high bouncing ball to second. Runner's going to move up, and the run is going to score. Throw to first in time. Rico retired 4-3, but he'll get the RBI. Coming home to score is Jake Glitter, and San Diego's gotten the lead back now. It's 5-4. And they've got another runner in scoring position is Saucedo. Moves down to third base. So Taylor Bush now with a chance to bring him in. First pitch to Bush is up high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. With 1 out and a runner at third, the infield is not playing in. Bruce Carter at second base playing in a little bit. Brock Carter, excuse me, but not all the way in where the grass would be. He's playing about halfway in between what's normal depth and in on what would be the cut of the grass. Taylor Bush fouls the first pitch back from Wilson. The first strike, the count's even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wilson stretches. Here comes the 1-1. Took something off at 76 and a slider in there for a strike, nothing in 2. Jackson Glenn over at third, playing behind the bag. Even with it at first is Andrew Miller. Definitely at normal depth, the shortstop Brandon Pruitt. It's just Brock Carter at second that's playing about midway in. Another one fouled back and out of play. The count's 1-2, and a good job by Bush of fighting off pitches and staying alive. Taylor Bush is due. He is not only 0 for 2, but he has struck out twice tonight. He struck out swinging in the first inning and struck out looking in the third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wilson through the stretch delivers, and this one gets away from the catcher. He can't find it, and the run's going to score from third. Sauceda will score. It's likely a wild pitch because it still bounced in, and a 2-run lead again for San Diego. Now it's 6-4. Well, that one did bounce a foot or two in front of John Russ, the catcher. It bounced right at him, but nonetheless, it was well in front of him, so the wild pitch gets another run home. And a 2-run lead again for San Diego, 6-4. The pitch to Bush, chopped at the plate, foul, and the count stays at 2-2. San Diego had a 2-0 lead after the first inning. And now they've got their 2-run lead back again. It's 6-4 now. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Swung on and missed, and down goes Bush for the 2nd out of the inning. And Taylor Bush, a frustrating night for him. He has struck out 3 times tonight, twice strikeout swinging. And now Dante Gutierrez will step in. Gutierrez, big left-handed hitter, swings and misses at a 79-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. And the count to Gutierrez is 0-1. Wilson working quickly now. Offers down and in. And that'll even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gutierrez, a first inning walk and a 3rd inning strikeout looking. And he takes here inside, and the count's now 2 balls and a strike. One more game tonight, the San Antonio Angels and the Everett Merchants. Down and in, 3-1. The San Antonio Angels, one of the 2 teams that qualified for championship week last week during pool play. The 3-1 is lifted deep to right field. This one is well struck. Douglas is back, and that one is gone. It's a solo homer for Dante Gutierrez, and San Diego leads now 7-4.
It's a great time. In Old Town. Great food, even better deals. And with that home run, it's a home run, courtesy of Wichita Brewing Company for the next 10 minutes.
Well, Gutierrez got every bit of that one. Hunter Douglas in right field just took a few steps back and watched that one sail out of here in a hurry. And that was almost directly over the 385 sign in right field, and I mean right over it. So you add another, 10, 15 feet to that, and you're talking about pushing a 400-foot shot for Dante Gutierrez. 1 ball and no strikes to Austin Riemann. Second pitch just missed away, 2-0. So a big inning again for San Diego as they've played at 3. The 2-0 lifted high right side. The first baseman Miller is calling. He's got it, and the side retired, but not before San Diego scores 3 in the inning, including a solo homer and a long one for Dante Gutierrez. We go to the 6th. San Diego 7, Cheney 4 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Cessna Bomber Bobcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs. Number 22, the first baseman.
You can get $50 off any electrical or plumbing service call at Faunastock. Just call 943-HEAT, 943-HEAT. And the folks at Faunastock will take $50 off any electrical or plumbing service call. Thanks to Faunastock for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. And also at Taco Prano, stop by and see them on Tuesdays. It's 60-cent Taco Tuesdays. And also you can ask them about their Money Saver Combo. Andrew Miller in to start the top half of inning number 6 for Cheney. And he takes a breaking ball outside at 62 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes to Miller. 7-4 our score. San Diego Waves over the Diamond Dogs of Cheney as Miller chops one foul over toward third. And the count is now even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller is 0 for 1. He's grounded out to short. Also a sacrifice fly in the third inning. The 1-1 here taken outside. Another off-speed pitch at 72, and the count's now 2-1. Well, these two teams almost all night long have matched their run total and their hit total. Both of them about all night long. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 2. For San Diego, 7 runs and 7 hits. For the Cheney Diamond Dogs, 4 runs and 4 hits. Moments ago, it was a 4-all tie, and it was the same thing. Each team had 4 runs and 4 hits. Here's the 2-2. Slider swung on and missed, or fouled back to the screen, actually. He barely got a piece of it, did Miller. And the count is still 2-2, a 75-mile-an-hour slider that Miller barely grazed with his bat. Took a big rip at it, too. Schultz ready, delivers, and this one down and away for a ball. And the count's now full at 3-2. Treston Kennard waits on deck, then after that, Kyler Castillo. If anybody gets aboard, Hunter Douglas. So it's 4, 5, and 6 for the Diamond Dogs here in the 6th. Down by 3, 7-4. Another big swing and a miss. And down goes Miller, a strikeout victim for the first time tonight. And that would be just the first strikeout of the game for John Schultz. When he has gotten it done, it's been mostly ground balls. Here's Treston Kennard. And Kennard a strike, 0-1. That would stand to reason, as many off-speed pitches that Schultz throws, and especially trying to keep it low. There's a breaking ball down and away at 68. He is what you would call the crafty left-hander. Does not throw hard, but has an array of off-speed pitches. This one down low, 75. And it's now 2 balls and a strike to Kennard. Kennard is 0 for 1. He's walked and popped out to second. John Schultz working from the windup. And he delivers the 2-on. Catches the outside corner. That might have been his fastball. It's one that tails away from right-handed hitters. Called a strike, and the count's now even at 2-2. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, 7-4 San Diego. This one bounces in, and the count's now full at 3-2. Jimmy McClanahan in center field plays Kennard. Slightly to pull, a shade towards left field. And he does pull one. Left center field and well struck deep. It's going to land on the carpet and bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. Well, the scouting report was right for San Diego on Treston Kennard. He did pull that one to the gap in left center field at 1 hop the fence. And Kennard at second base with a 1-out ground rule double. And that'll bring up Kyler Castillo. So the Diamond Dogs trying to mount another rally. They were down by 4 earlier in the game, down 3 here, and they probably feel like they've got to start over playing catch up again, 7-4, but a runner at second base, 1 out. And now a high bouncing ball to Kyler Castillo, or by Kyler Castillo. The throw to first is high, and safe at first base is Castillo. That likely will be an E6 on Montez, as he delivered high to first base, or Morales, excuse me. So everybody's safe. Down to third base goes Kennard. That will be an error. E6 on Morales at short. And safe at first base is Kyler Castillo. So first and third. Here's Hunter Douglas, now the right fielder, representing the tying run. Throw to first and backsliding in is Castillo.
Special happy 60th birthday today to Tom Van Berkelio. Happy birthday, Tom.
Infield looks for a double play. That would get San Diego out of the inning. So nobody playing in with runners at the corners. Pitch down low for a ball to Hunter Douglas. 1 ball and no strikes to Douglas, who is flied out twice, once to first and once to center. The 1-0 lifted, shallow left field. This is probably not deep enough to send the runner. Coming on is Gitter, and it falls over his head, and everybody will move up and down to third base. The runner from first, Castillo's going to try and go, and he'll get there. How did Jake Gitter lose that one? He just came in too far, and it landed over him. So Kennard scores. All the way down to second base goes Douglas. And it's now a 7-5 game. And that's going to be ruled, I believe, a base hit. I don't think Gitter got a glove on that. He just overran it. And I don't know if he lost it in the lights or just misjudged the carry on that. There's some wind blowing, but still a fairly routine fly ball to shallow left field. Now here's John Russ swinging and sending one out of play. The wind is blowing out to left field, and that is going to help that high fly ball carry. But again, still a pretty routine fly ball, you would think. And Gitter just overran it coming in towards third to try and make that catch. 0-1 to Russ. Takes outside for a ball, 1-1. So Kennard came all the way around to score from second, from first to third Castillo, and Douglas is now at second base on what's going to be ruled a double. Second and third, 7-5. The pitch fouled back and out of play. So now the tying run is at second in Hunter Douglas, who just doubled, and the potential go-ahead run is at the plate in John Russ. In the next inning, we'll have our Champs Sports Bar and Grill hamburger meal giveaway. Hamburger, French fries, and a non-alcoholic beverage will be given away. Stay tuned for details next inning, courtesy of Champs Sports Bar and Grill. Change up down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our thanks to Team Electric for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Shire Graphics as well. Also thanks to Rusty Eck Ford and Midwest Kia. Through the stretch goes Schultz, not real concerned with the runners at second and third. And a pitch, a high bouncing ball to short. Runners are going to move up. The throw will be to first in time, but coming home to score is Castillo. Russ will get the RBI on a 6-3 ground out. So another run scores for Cheney here in the inning. And now it's a 7-6 game. Douglas down to third, by the way. And he represents the tying run. There's going to be a pitching change, though, and we'll have a pause in the action. Is every time San Diego gets a little bit of distance, the Diamond Dogs of Cheney come right back. Pitching change being made. Timeout on the field with the score. San Diego Waves 7, Cheney Diamond Dogs 6. This is the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Next to the elevators on the lower concourse to claim your prizes from tonight's charity recipient, Heart Springs.
Show honey.
Yeah.
Your attention now pitching for the Boeing Bombers, San Diego Waves. Number 3, Sean Coyne. Also, fans, you have 9 minutes to get down and bid on your replica jerseys being worn by the Cheney Diamond Dogs tonight and the San Diego Waves, representing our throwback teams, the Cessna Bobcats and the Boeing Bombers. You now have 8 minutes to get down to lower concourse, place your bid on those replica jerseys for a throwback feature game tonight. All the proceeds benefit the NBC World Series to help teams with their travel expenses for the 84th NBC World Series powered by Westar Energy.
Right-hander Sean Coyne is the new pitcher for the San Diego Waves. With the Cheney Diamond Dogs fighting back again for the second time tonight. They were down 4-0 going into the third inning, and they scored 4 times. They gave up a 3 spot to San Diego in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they were down again 3, 7-4. So far, here in the 6th inning, they've scored twice. And Cheney right back into this thing. Again, the score is 7-6. Sean Coyne is out of St. Augustine High School in California, attending Westmont College. Right-handed pitcher, 6'1", 195 pounds. Working from the stretch with a runner at third. Brock Carter, the first batter he'll face, and he delivers a ball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Once again, these two teams have even run and hit columns. 7 runs, 7 hits for San Diego, 6 runs, 6 hits for Cheney. Slider high and away for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes, the count to Brock Carter. Hunter Douglas, the runner at third, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning, and a good one, 7-6. San Diego over Cheney. 2 balls and no strikes, and another one that misses high. And the count's now 3 balls and no strikes. Sean Coyne made 11 appearances at Westmont College this past season. Pitched 16 innings, 1 start, and then suffered a season-ending injury. So his year was cut short. He delivers a strike here, and the count's now 3-1. He also had a save this season. 4.5 his earned run average with 17 strikeouts against just 7 walks. Here's a walk here, though, up high, ball 4, as Brock Carter goes to first base. So you don't know how much Coyne has pitched in summer this season, but it could be that he is trying to still work his way back from an injury in college earlier this season where he was a sophomore. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. Cheney now back to the top of the order. Wade Rayburn will step in. His 4th trip to the plate tonight. From the stretch, Coyne. And this one sails outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Coyne from the stretch. Not too concerned with the runners with 2 outs. Delivers and just barely misses outside, and the count's now 2-0. He is consistently right around the upper 70s right now. Seen several pitches, all at 79. The 2-0, and that one at 80 just misses away. And Jake Rico, the catcher, tries to frame these pitches because they are all just barely missing, but to Ben Harlow's credit, the home plate umpire, he's been consistent in not giving him the edge. And he doesn't again here. 3 very close pitches, but none of them caught the edge, according to Harlow. And a walk will load the bases now for Brandon Pruitt. And that's going to get the coach for San Diego out of the dugout with the bases loaded. There's activity down in the Waves bullpen, and let's see if they're going to go that way. Well, this Cheney team has just been pesky so far. They do not want to go away. Down 4-0 early, and then they scored 4 in the third. Down 7-4 starting the 6th inning. They've scored twice so far. There are 2 outs, but they've got the bases loaded. So let's see what the Diamond Dogs are able to do. Our thanks to Shire Graphics for sponsoring coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Also to Team Electric. Just Right Auto Repair amongst our fine sponsors, and Cherry Oaks Golf Course in Cheney. So here's Brandon Pruitt now stepping in, taking the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, these two teams, both pitchers for both teams, I should say, have had all kinds of issues with control tonight. Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 1-1. That is, it looks like a cut fastball. It's coming in at 81, but it looks like it's got a little bit of right to left movement on it. Counts 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Tying run at third for Cheney. There's a slow breaking ball at 66. 1 ball and 2 strikes, though, the count. Infield looking for a force out at any base, so they all play at normal depth. Through the stretch, Coyne ready and delivers the 1-2. High fly ball towards short. This is going to end the inning. Morales right at short, makes the catch to retire the side. So Cheney does score 2 in an inning, though, where they could have done more because they leave them loaded. After 5.5, San Diego 7, Cheney 6 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
See kids enjoying the NBC World Series, and a few years ago he decided they should be able to enjoy a free hot dog. The Brister family carries on this tradition by giving a free hot dog to the first 50 kids who make their way to the Hardball Cafe at this time. Again, the first 50 kids to make their way to the Hardball Cafe at this time, please walk, do not run to the Hardball Cafe, will get a free hot dog. Courtesy of the Ted Brister and Ted Brister family.
It's a good night to visit Davis Liquor, several Wichita locations. Stop by and see those folks at Davis Liquor, sponsors of our coverage of the 84th NBC. And our thanks to Just Right Auto Repair and Shire Graphics as well. Here we go to the bottom of the 6th inning now with Cheney trailing the San Diego Waves just by the score of 7-6. And the leadoff batter for the San Diego Waves trying to bunt his way aboard and sends it foul up the third baseline. That's Mitch Morales, the shortstop. Morales, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for San Diego. Then back to the top of the order, Keel Palm and Jimmy McClanahan. San Diego leading Cheney 7-6. Pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Mitch Morales, who's 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. Lifts this one high, slicing right side. That's going to tail out of play. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Wilson still out in relief for the Diamond Dogs of Cheney. He came on in the 2nd inning. And again, for those of you watching on YouTube, Cheney is the Bobcats on your score bug, and San Diego is the Bombers. Pitch misses for a ball. The count's now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wilson, the 2-2, swung on and fouled back to our right. The count's still 2-2. If you missed it earlier, here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium tonight, the NBC is paying tribute to the aviation industry, very rich in Wichita. So they have a salute to aviation night, and these two teams' uniforms indicate that. This one in tight, and it hit him on the elbow. And Mitch Morales is going to trot down to first base, shaking off the pain of getting hit in the left elbow. So he'll head down to first base. Well, every time a batter is hit in this NBC World Series, Aflac gets an advertisement through the public address here. And they are getting a lot of play tonight in this game as Aflac. We have had several hit batsmen and walks as well. And that was a hit batsman to the leadoff batter and number 9 hitter in the order, Mitch Morales. Back to the top of the order now with Keel Palm. Yes, we've heard the duck quack quite a bit tonight. 1 ball and no strikes is the first pitch down and away to Palm. Second offering in there for his strike, a fastball at 87 for Jeff Wilson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Getting back to aviation night, though, so the Cheney Diamond Dogs are wearing jerseys that say Cessna on them, and San Diego is wearing jerseys that say Boeing, and that's the reason. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count now to Keel Palm. Left-handed batter through this stretch goes Wilson, taking a long time. Palm showing bunt now. It's a good one up the first baseline. Palm is going to slide toward first, but get tagged out on his way. He tried to slide underneath the tag of Andrew Miller a long way from first base. He would have had to have slid a long way to get there, but he did the job. It was just a sacrifice bunt to first,
We provide our guests with just what
And that's all he was trying to do. Mitch Morales makes his way to second base. He's there, so a runner at second. 1 out for Jimmy McClanahan. 7-6 our score. San Diego's got the lead. McClanahan, a big swing and a miss at an 87-mile-an-hour fastball, coming in about letter high. 0-1 to McClanahan. McClanahan is 0 for 2. He has grounded out and struck out. He also walked and scored back in the first inning. Runner bluffing to third, so a throw goes to second, and it goes into center field. Now he'll try for third. Here comes the throw, and he's safe. What a wild play right there. Mitch Morales at second base started to jump towards third. That got the attention of Wilson, who whipped around and threw to second base, but threw wildly into center field. And when the ball went into center field, then Morales easily made his way to third base, and that'll be the first error of the ball game on Cheney. So each team now with 1 error in the game. And McClanahan now up there with the 8th run of the game for San Diego, 90 feet away. Bouncing ball to short. They're going to try to get the runner coming home, and they got him. A bouncing ball to short, and playing in a little shallow at short was Brandon Pruitt. He charged, threw on the run. The throw was in time, and Morales retired on a big play at the plate, 6-2 for the second out of the inning. So a nice job that time, not just by Pruitt, but John Russ, the catcher, to catch and apply the tag, and Morales gunned down 6-2. So still only a 1-run lead for San Diego. First pitch to Jake Gitter misses for a ball, and it's 1-0. So McClanahan on over at first on a fielder's choice. But now 2 outs and a runner at first. Still just a 1-run game, 7-6, as Gitter fouls one back to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. So we've had 13 runs in this game and 13 hits. Back and forth it's gone. San Diego will get a nice lead of 3 or 4 runs, and Cheney has come back twice in that scenario. Swing and a miss there on a breaking ball at 78. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Runs have come in bunches for San Diego. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the fifth. Shut out in the third and the fourth. Fastball in tied at 87, 2-2. Jeff Wilson really wanted that one. And John Russ, the catcher, tried to frame it on the inside, but not much doubt. That one was well inside. Counts now even, 2-2. Wilson stretches, delivers, and similar location.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Thank you, sir. You too. We've made our way to the 7th inning. In the bottom half of this inning, we will have our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway, so stay tuned for that when we come back. For the bottom of the 7th inning, right now, we will start the top of the 7th inning, and for the Cheney Diamond Dogs, third baseman Jackson Glenn will lead off. 7-6 our score. San Diego's got the lead, and the first pitch to Glenn is a breaking ball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1 to Glenn. Glenn, Andrew Miller, and Treston Kennard, 3, 4, and 5 for the Diamond Dogs, trailing by just a run, 7-6. And a slow breaking ball at 63 lands short of the plate. And the count is now 2 balls and no strikes to Jackson Glenn. Glenn is 0 for 2, and he sends a towering high fly ball over to Saucade at first base, who calls and makes the catch on one a mile high, and there's one away. Thanks to Just Right Auto Repair and Faunastock for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Faunastock, where you can get $50 off any electrical or plumbing service call. Call 943-HEAT. Here's Andrew Miller now, the first baseman. 0 for 2 tonight. Big swing and a miss at a 67-mile-an-hour breaking ball, 0-1 to Miller. Another one, breaking ball by Coyne. That one misses down and away, though. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 lifted high, right side, slicing into foul ground. Right fielder Riemann coming on, giving chase. And I think he thought Saucade, the first baseman, was going to catch it. It almost looked like one of those you got it, no you got it situations, and nobody caught it. It landed in between them. They both had a long way to run, but it looked like they both also might have slowed down a little bit. Riemann, the right fielder, and Saucade, the first baseman, thinking the other one might be the one to take charge, but nobody catches it. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Milner. Coyne ready. Took something off there. A change at 65, and it's 2-2. I mentioned Sean Coyne having his season cut short at Westmont University earlier this season. Big swing and a miss for a strike, and Andrew Miller goes down swinging, 2 away. In 2017, he was a little bit busier than this past season. He made 18 appearances with 5 starts, a 4-2 record, and a 3.8 earned run average in 42 2/3 innings. Here's Treston Kennard taking one away for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. He had 32 strikeouts in 2017 and held opponents to just a .224 batting average. Pitch in there for his strike, it's 1-1. 11 appearances as well his freshman year of college. Pitch tailing down and away from the right-handed hitting Kennard. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Kennard. Once again, these two teams, the same numbers in the run and hit column. 7 runs, 7 hits for San Diego, 6 runs, 6 hits for Cheney. Each team has committed an error. Pitch is strike, now 2-2 to Kennard. Cheney on the verge of being retired in order for the first time in a couple of innings. And that's just what's happened. Swing and a miss. Down goes Kennard. And the side retired in order for the second time tonight. Stretch time at Lawrence Dumont. The score, San Diego 7, Cheney 6 at the 84th NBC on KQAM.
Leonard Skinner, last of the street survivors, farewell tour.
Saturday, September 29th in Trust Bank Arena.
With special guest, the Marshall Tucker Band, Leonard Skinner, on their final tour ever.
Tickets are on sale now at selectaseat.com, the venue box office, or charge by phone.
Leonard Skinner,
playing in Trust Bank Arena one last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I saw the name of the winner, I checked his Facebook. God bless America at Lawrence Dumont Stadium for the 84th NBC World Series, a tradition as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. A tradition this year at the bottom of the 7th, we are giving away a free meal from Champs Sports Bar and Grill. So get your dialing fingers ready. Somebody's about to win a free meal from Champs. 316-721-8255, 316-721-8255. Call now. David Mitchell standing by. The first caller will win a free hamburger, french fry, and non-alcoholic beverage from Champs Sports Bar and Grill. Again, 316-721-8255. Dave is standing by. Give him a call now. Let's listen to Mike Dean as he plays Take Me Out to the Ball Game on the harmonica here in the bottom of the 7th. Our official scorer, who has been doing that for 35 years, takes a break in the bottom of the 7th to go down and do that many nights here at the NBC. He also has been known to play the national anthem to start games with the harmonica. All right, we've got a good one. Bottom of the 7th inning, 7-6 our score. The San Diego Waves on top of the Cheney Diamond Dogs. For those of you on YouTube, San Diego is the Bombers and Cheney is the Bobcats, as we recognize aviation history at the 84th NBC tonight, as the Bobcats are the Cessna Bobcats, that's Cheney, and the Bombers are the Boeing Bombers, that's San Diego. First pitch to Mark Sauceda, and now the second down and away for a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Sauceda. Sauceda, then Jake Rico and Taylor Bush. 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the order for San Diego, as they lead the Cheney Diamond Dogs by the score of 7-6. Pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Wilson working from the windup for the Diamond Dogs, sends one in, swung on, lined into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down. It'll be a base hit. Castillo over to cut it off in a hurry, and stopping at first base is Sauceda with the leadoff single. But a good job of hitting right there by Sauceda with 2 strikes, protecting the plate and sending one the other way. And he's on at first for Jake Rico. Mark Sauceda also represents the tying run. Rico coming to the plate represents the go-ahead run. This is also the 3rd inning in a row where the Diamond Dogs, San Diego, has had their leadoff batter aboard. First pitch to Jake Rico, fouled back and out of play. So that is not the tying run at first. It's San Diego batting, leading 7-6. Wilson tried to catch the runner Sauceda napping over at first. Quick throw and does it again, just as Sauceda is starting to step away and get his lead. Rico's had a good night at the plate tonight. He's driven home 3. 0-1 the count to him. Wilson taking a long time, now delivers, and the pitch swung on, ground ball deep in the hole at short, fielded there by Pruitt. A long throw to first, bounced into first, nice play. Out at first base is Rico on a great throw by Pruitt deep in the hole at short. Well, that's one of the advantages of this artificial surface. You can bounce one over there and get a good hop, and that's exactly what happened for Pruitt at short. And Andrew Miller picked it up off the bounce, 1 away. Sauceda, though, did make his way to second base. He's there on the 6-3 ground out. Now San Diego will go with a pinch hitter here, as they've got Justin Brazil in. And he's a local product collegiately out of Friends University in Wichita from Houston, Texas. And he fouls the first pitch off on the right side, 0-1. So Brazil batting for Taylor Bush, the 3rd baseman, here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Through the stretch goes Wilson. And the pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes to Brazil. He's a right-handed pinch hitter. Wears an ankle protector up on his front left ankle in case of any foul balls down that way. Open stance toward the back of the right-handed batter's box. Swings at this pitch and bounces one to third. And the throw will be to first in time for a 5-3 put out, 2 away. And staying at third base is Sauceda. Nice little move at third as well by Jackson Glenn, catching that high one hopper behind the bag. He also pump fake to throw back to second just to keep Sauceda honest, and then the throw to first. We've got a winner in our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway, and it's Kyler Castillo. Kyler Castillo is the winner of our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway, so congratulations to him. Big swing and a miss to Dante Gutierrez. Nothing in one. Kyler Castillo is also playing in this game, so either somebody's playing a trick, or this is just an incredible coincidence, or maybe it's Kyler Castillo's dad. I don't know. That's the name I was given. Kyler Castillo is the left fielder for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. Another one called a strike. Nothing in two to Gutierrez. Runner at second, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. 7-6 our score. And the pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen, so Gutierrez stays alive. Dante Gutierrez had that line drive home run to right field. He got every bit of it, probably somewhere close to 400 feet as it sailed past the 385 sign in right field. And it didn't take long to get out of here. Hunter Douglas in right took a couple steps back toward the fence and said, nah, see you later. Here's the 1-2. Bounced out toward second, charging in his Carter. He'll field it, underhand toss to first, and the side is retired. So San Diego gets a leadoff base hit. They strand one at second, but that's all the damage they could do. We go to the 8th, San Diego 7, Cheney 6 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Yes, sir. Oh, what's her name? What's her? Oh, nice. Oh, how cool. Okay. Well, we go to the 8th inning in a good one. San Diego Waves 7, Cheney Diamond Dogs 6. For those of you watching on YouTube, San Diego is the Bombers and Cheney is the Bobcats. As we recognize aviation history in Wichita, a very rich tradition in that. That's the reason you see that on the score bug, but we know them all season long as Cheney and San Diego. Here we go to the top of the 8th inning. Leadoff hitter for the Cheney Diamond Dogs is Kyler Castillo. First pitch in tight for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Sean Coyne delivers the 1-0. That one bounces in, and it's quickly 2-0. 7 runs on 8 hits for San Diego, 6 runs on 6 hits for the Diamond Dogs of Cheney. Each team has committed an error. 2-0 to Castillo, showing bunt here, and then pulls back for a strike. It's 2-1. Kyler Castillo is 0 for 3. He has grounded into a double play, grounded to short, and also reached on an error. The 2-1, ground ball to short. Backhanded nicely by Morales, and a throw to first in time for a 6-3 putout, 1 away. Well, I got clarification on Kyler Castillo, our winner of the Champ Sports Bar and Grill giveaway. Kyler Castillo just batted and grounded out to short. The reason he won our contest is because his sister from Dallas actually called in and won the giveaway, and she's going to give it to her brother Kyler. So he will be making his way to our studios at KQAM sometime this week, and he'll pick up a free hamburger, french fry, and drink from Champ Sports Bar and Grill. Hunter Douglas takes a slider for a strike, 0-1. Second pitch also a slider, but tailing down and away from the right-handed hitter, and it's 1-1. So that'll be a nice surprise for Kyler. Once he finds out, he's going to get a free meal while he's here in Wichita. Not alcohol now, it's a non-alcoholic beverage. Pitch inside for a ball. It's 2-1. But we appreciate Champ Sports Bar and Grill for sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC. Hunter Douglas, 2-1. And this one down and away. And it's now 3-1. Cheney Diamond Dogs one swing of the bat from tying this thing up, trailing 7-6. Pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hunter Douglas. Douglas is 1 for 3. He's flied out a couple of times, but did have a 6th inning double. The 3-2 pitch, and he barely got a piece of it and fouled it at the plate. And the count's still full at 3-2. When Douglas doubled in the 6th inning, he actually advanced to third base later, but was stranded there. Boy, would the Diamond Dogs love to have that opportunity back now, trailing by just a run, 7-6. 3 balls and 2 strikes again. Here comes a pitch. Breaking ball swung on and fouled back over the screen. And the count's still full at 3-2. Hunter Douglas from Lubbock, Texas, attending Colorado Mesa State University, and that one comes inside and it hits him. And that might have hit him on one of his elbow protectors, because that was a loud smack you could hear up here. He's fine, and he'll head down to first base, but yet another hit batsman tonight. And we have just had a ton of those tonight.
Catcher number 13, John Russ.
Between walks and hit batsmen, they have just been happening all night long. Here's John Russ, the catcher now, taking down low for a ball, 1-0. Part of the reason there have been 13 combined runs in this game, and just in the top of the 8th inning, we could be far from through scoring runs the way this thing has gone. Over for a strike at 80 miles an hour. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Russ. Russ is 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts to short. He has also walked and scored. That happened in the 3rd inning. So many players have done that tonight. There goes the runner. The pitch swung on and driven toward the gap. Right center field. Off to his right is Raymond. He'll make the catch. Now they try to double the runner off first, and they got him. It was a hit and run, and Douglas was 3.
Kansas Gas Service delivers natural gas to many of the companies you know, ensuring they have the energy they need to grow and build strong communities, providing cost-effective, safe, and reliable natural gas for a better tomorrow today. Kansas Gas Service.
Well, Jeff Wilson's job now is to keep this at a 1-run game. The score is 7-6. San Diego over Cheney as we start the bottom half of inning number 8. And it'll be Austin Riemann that'll lead off for the San Diego Waves. He's already seen 1 pitch inside edge for a strike, 0-1. And the second one fouled back and out of play over toward the party deck on the third base side. And the count is now 0-2. This is actually Brian Rosario who has come on instead of Riemann, so it's Rosario on now as he has replaced Riemann in right field, and the pitch is down low for a ball. Brian Rosario from San Lorenzo, California, attending San Joaquin Delta where he's a sophomore, and he bounces this one foul. So he is the right fielder for Cheney, or San Diego, excuse me, and he chops one foul toward the first base dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Rosario. Left-handed hitter. Crowding over the plate with a count 1-2. Wilson delivers high at 88 miles an hour. Well, you take away the 5th inning, Jeff Wilson's been really good tonight. He came on in relief early in this game in the 2nd inning. There's strike 3 called on the outside edge, a fastball at 86 miles an hour, and Rosario caught looking, and down he goes for the first out of the inning. That's the 6th strikeout for Wilson. And now Mitch Morales, the shortstop, steps in. Bottom of the 8th inning, San Diego only up a run, looking for insurance here. But Morales takes a slow breaking ball inside, 1 ball and no strikes. The Diamond Dogs in the top of the 9th inning will have 9, 1, and 2 up to bat. This one swung on and fouled back out of play, needing at least a run, depending on what happens here in the bottom of the 8th. But due up will be Brock Carter, the number 9 hitter, and then back to the top of the order, Wade Rayburn and Brandon Pruitt. So 9, 1, and 2 will be who's up for Cheney, trailing by at least a run. Swing and a miss. Mitch Morales now, 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on him. Morales has singled and been hit by a pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wilson through the wind delivers. Lifted right side, slicing toward the line. Coming on in a hurry is Hunter Douglas. He's going to slide into foul territory and makes a great sliding catch as he crossed the line in right field. What a play by Douglas. Don't forget that ball tailing away from him a little bit because it was a right-handed hitter slicing one down the right field line. The wind blowing toward left field helped keep it from slicing further, but still a nice sliding catch into foul territory, and Morales is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. Now here's Kyle Palm, and Palm takes a fastball on the outside edge, 0-1. Through the windup goes Wilson with nobody on, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning, 7-6 San Diego. Pitch down and away for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike to Palm. Boy, just another in the long line of great defensive plays we've seen in this World Series. It started a week ago last night. Ground ball out to short, backhanded by Pruitt. Long, strong throw to first is low, and it gets away over to the backstop, and now Palm will head to second base. And that is almost certainly going to be an E6 as the throw was low from short. And now down to second base goes Palm. Well, you hate to see that if you're Cheney, trying to keep this, desperately trying to keep it a 1-run game to the top of the 9th inning. And they were 1 out away from getting there, and that could have been that out needed. But Pruitt's throw to first was low, and a 2-base error on him, and Palm out at second, and now Jimmy McClanahan, the batter. First pitch to McClanahan, swung on and missed. That one tailing a little down and away to the right-handed hitter, and he took a golf swing at it, missed, 0-1. So San Diego waves, looking for an insurance run. They've got an opportunity in scoring position. Kyle Palm out at second base. 0-1, the count to McClanahan, and the pitch. Fastball just inside, and the count's 1-1. That one hit 88 miles an hour. Palm stepping away from second, getting his lead with 2 outs. He'll be moving on contact, and he tried to check his swing on a breaking ball and did not. He went around, says Ben Harlow behind the plate. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Jeff Wilson goes behind the rubber, picks up the rosin bag, tosses it back down, now grips the baseball behind his right hip, twirling it around to get the right grip. Now looks at second, and here comes the 1-2 offering. Chopped at the plate, foul. It bounced right back up off of McClanahan. So the count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we try it again. Palm stepping away from second. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. San Diego leading Cheney 7-6, but trying to get another run tacked on. Go to the top of the 9th with at least a 2-run lead. Pitch down low for a ball. The count's even at 2-2. You just have a few games to play to try to qualify for the championship tournament on Thursday. So every game so important, and one of these two teams likely an inning away unless we go extra innings from going to 1-0 to start pool play. Pitch chopped over toward the third base dugout, foul, and the count holds at 2-2. Wilson not too concerned with the runner at second with 2 outs. Fires home, and a fastball at 90 that time. Fouled back to the backstop. 2-2 again. Still a pretty good breeze blowing out of the south, out toward left field. There are 4 flags down in right field, just on the foul side of the right field foul pole. They're all blowing out toward left. There goes the runner to third. The throw low and away. No throw to third, and a stolen base for Kyle Palm. So now the 8th run of the game for San Diego, 90 feet away, but the count is full at the plate to McClanahan with 2 outs. San Diego up 7-6, trying to tack on another. The 3-2 pitch swung on and missed, and down.
Pain, back pain, all kinds of sprains. If your knee replacement aches when it starts to rain, at Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. Concussions, arthritis, carpal tunnel, tooth, fibromyalgia, Parkinson's, we've got the treatment for you. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. One-on-one sessions with a personal touch. Ask our thousands of patients why they love us so much. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that.
Saturday night is championship night of the NBC World Series. After the game, the fun begins with Big Fat Fun. It's extra innings at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Stick around for a concert with Big Fat Fun on the field. Cessna Bobcats, Cheney Diamond Dogs, number 17, Scott Hastings.
Well, Cheney will start off the top of the 9th inning, trailing by a run, and use a pinch hitter. Scott Hastings will hit for Brock Carter. So Carter, the starting second baseman, gives way to Scott Hastings, who will lead off the top of the 9th inning with Cheney trailing 7-6, and he will be the pinch hitter. Hastings is out of Flower Mound, Texas, just a little bit east of Dallas, attending Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He's a left-handed hitter, and the first pitch he takes, a breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1, as Sean Coyne sends the slider across. So 0-1, now Hastings takes down low, and the count even at 1-1. Sean Coyne done a pretty good job for San Diego since coming on in relief in the 6th inning. He has held Cheney in check. Fastball at 78, misses away, 2-1. Coyne came on in the top of the 6th inning and faced 3 batters. Got the 1 out he needed to retire the side. This one is lifted high and deep to center field. McClanahan going back, and he tracks it down a few steps in front of the warning track. So a long out for Hastings coming off the bench. Pretty good job there to give that one a ride, but tracked down by McClanahan. 1 out. But credit Sean Coyne, because Cheney was making some noise in the top of the 6th inning. They had scored 2 with 2 outs when he came on, and not only got San Diego out of that inning, but has held Cheney quiet ever since. First pitch here to Wade Rayburn. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. So with 1 out now, the tying run down at first base, Wade Rayburn just picked up his first hit of the night. So Brandon Pruitt now will step in. Actually, he was due to, but Cheney is going to send up another pinch hitter. And this is going to be Matt Churich that will step in. So Churich will step in out of Beaumont, Texas, and he will step in from the right side and bat for Pruitt. So the right-handed hitting Shirich is in. Wide open stance, trying to move the runner at first over. Slider in there for a strike. The first pitch from Coyne to Shirich, and it's 0-1. That base hit by Wade Rayburn, the 7th hit of the game for Cheney. They need one more run to tie the score. Pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. 0-2. Coyne quickly ahead of Shirich. Shirich has his pant legs pulled up to his knees, and then he's got the black stirrups, but what stands out is that ankle protector on his front left foot. It's bright red. Pitch outside for a ball. The throw down to second as the runner goes, heads into center field. The throw down to third as the runner heading that way, and there'll be no tag. Safe at third base is Wade Rayburn now, representing the tying run in the game. Well, Jake Rico, the catcher for San Diego, did not have a good grip on that baseball when he tried to throw out the base stealer as it bounced off the pitcher's mound. So he only threw it a little over 60 feet before it bounced off the mound and then rolled all the way to center field, and down to third goes Rayburn. Now the pitch to Shirich. He pokes it foul and out of play. So the tying run now at third. One out, top of the 9th inning. San Diego 7, Cheney 6, but the tying run 90 feet away, and San Diego has brought the infield in with a runner at third base. Through the stretch goes Coyne. He delivers the 1-2 outside, ball 2. Rico tried to frame that one, but not much doubt about it. It was a little outside, and the count's now even at 2-2. Mitch Morales not playing totally in like he normally would, but he's got a good arm, and on this turf, the ball can scoot to him in a hurry. Another one outside, and the count's now full at 3-2. It would not be the worst thing in the world to put a runner at first base. That could set up a double play with runners at the corners and one out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Coyne stretches. Takes some time, now delivers the 3-2. Liner over to first and caught by the first baseman Sauceda about ankle high. It nearly bounced to him, but he caught it just off the turf and looked over at third, and back to third went Rayburn. A big out, number 2. Boy, what a tough break for Cheney right there. A well-struck ball by Shirich. He took it the other way, protected the plate with 2 outs, hit it on a line, but right to the first baseman who snared it. Now 2 away for Jackson Glenn. And Glenn takes outside for a ball, 1-0. Boy, would the Diamond Dogs like to have that back. Good contact the other way, just right at the first baseman. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Outside corner, a fastball at 80. And the count's now 1-1. Had the infield not been playing in for San Diego, that would have been a hard-hit bouncing ball that really would have been tough for Sauceda or anybody to handle at first. That would have been interesting. But playing in, he caught it. This one gets away from the catcher. Here comes the runner to score. Sliding home safe. We've got a tie game at 7-7. It bounced in, and it went off the equipment of Rico and deflected off to his left. A wild pitch scores the tying run of the game for Cheney. It's now 7-7. Jackson Glenn, a 1 ball, 1 strike count. But Cheney has tied it for the second time tonight. They've overcome deficits of 4 and 3 runs, and now a drive to the gap, deep to left center field and back, and this one is going to one-hop the fence. Glenn is heading to second, and he's going to put the brakes on right there with a 2-out double. And all of a sudden, the crowd behind the Cheney dugout on the third base side has an awful lot to cheer about. As we are tied at 7, a timeout's been called as coach is out of the dugout for the San Diego Waves. And once again, these two teams identical on the scoreboard. Earlier in the game, it was 4 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for each team. Now it's 7 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for both teams. And the Cheney Diamond Dogs have overcome a 4-0 deficit They did when they scored 4 in the top of the third to tie it 4 apiece. And now they've overcome a 3-run deficit when it was 7-4 in the 5th inning. They've scored 2 in the 6th and added 1 here in the 9th. With 2 outs, they added 1. And they've tied it at 7. Now they've got the go-ahead run out at second base. That's Jackson Glenn, who doubled, and now Andrew Miller steps in with a chance to give Cheney their first lead of the night. Coyne stretches, delivers, breaking ball. Q sticked over toward first. Sauceda to his right has it. Underhand toss to the pitcher covering, and the side is retired 3-1. But the Diamond Dogs got at least the one they desperately needed to tie it up. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Cheney 7, San Diego 7 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Fans, don't forget, if you've been on a road to Jersey tonight, you want to find out if you won. Shortly after this game, there'll be customer service, so you can find out if you're taking one home tonight.
I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around this town. I'm gonna drive everybody wild. 'Cause I'm half the only one there in town. So the very next day when I punched in with my big lunchbox with help from a friend, I left that day with a lunch.
Second baseman, number 6, Chris Begg.
To the bottom of the 9th inning we go, and we start all over at 7-7. And San Diego Waves will lead off with a pinch hitter here, as it's going to be Chris Begg to start the bottom of the 9th inning. Begg, then Mark Saucedo and Jake Rico do up. In a 7-7 tie, Jeff Wilson's first offering a strike, and the second as well, a breaking ball in there at 75, and quickly it's 0-2. And Jeff Wilson has been a big story in this game. He has gone since the 2nd inning when he came on in relief. The pitch to Begg, high bouncing ball behind the bag, it's short. Nice play to field it by the shortstop Pruitt, but he throws it away, and safe at first base is going to be Begg. That was a tough play for Pruitt, the shortstop, on a bouncing ball. He caught it after a couple hops behind the bag, then had to do a spin around to get his momentum going in the right direction, but threw a little wild to first base. Begg unable to advance from there, but he's on at first with a leadoff single. He represents the winning run now with nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And now time has been called. Pat Hahn has called time, the coach for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. He is out of the dugout, and he's calling for the bullpen. But what a job by Jeff Wilson tonight. He's going to get a nice round of applause as he came on in the 2nd inning and carried this thing into the bottom of the 9th. San Diego did score 3 in the 5th, but outside of that, all goose eggs. Listen to the round of applause he gets.
Number 14, Connor Clayton.
But that'll do it. Timeout on the field, and a good one. Bottom of the 9th, San Diego 7, Cheney 7. Pitching change being made. We'll be back for more of the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker, KQAM. Connor Queen is the new pitcher for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. He's a right-handed pitcher, having a moment to himself behind the mound, bending over, now puts his cap on and approaches the rubber in a big situation here. 7-7 our score. San Diego and Cheney, bottom of the ninth inning. Game-winning run at first base is Chris Begg. And Mark Sauceda is the cleanup hitter for San Diego. And the first pitch he sees, he puts on the ground into center field. Begg is rounding second, makes a big turn there, and then stops. And he'll hold there after the second consecutive hit for San Diego. Boy, Begg had thoughts of heading to third base, then put the brakes on at the last minute and scrambled back to the bag. But first and second now for San Diego. Can Jake Rico lay one down? We'll see. With first and second, nobody out. Playing in tight at third is Jackson Glenn, and now time is called as John Russ, the catcher, wants to talk to his pitcher. This is Jake Rico, the catcher, up, and if he's a proficient bunter, you know that that's what San Diego will be doing, trying to move the runners over. The one that matters is the runner at second. That's Begg representing the game-winning run in a 7-7 tie, bottom of the ninth inning. And we'll see if he's trying to lay one down here. Right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Queen through the stretch. Rico's not bunting. Instead, he fouls one right side. First baseman giving chase and sliding. And Miller makes a sliding catch with his back to the infield. What a play by Andrew Miller, the first baseman for Cheney. With his back to the infield in foul territory, the ball tailing away from him. He's chasing the ball from a right-handed hitter. So it's tailing away, and he slides on the turf and makes a big catch for the first out of the inning. So Rico must not be a proficient bunter. Otherwise, San Diego would have had him laying one down. And now here's Brazil, who's in for his second at bat of the game, takes his strike, 0-1. Justin Brazil, his first plate appearance was in the seventh inning. He grounded out. 0-1 here. He's trying to win the game for San Diego. The 0-1 pitch, a strike at the knees, a fastball at 91 miles an hour. So Connor Queen from Boerne, Texas, down near Houston. He's attending Texas Tech, is bringing the heat. 0-2, runners at first and second, one out, bottom of the ninth inning in a tie game, 7-7. Here's the pitch, big swing and a miss, and down he goes. Brazil, a strikeout victim. And after back-to-back base hits to start the inning for San Diego, now back-to-back outs, and there are two away. And here's Dante Gutierrez. So the left-handed hitter will try to end the game for San Diego, or at least get aboard and keep the inning alive with two outs. The first pitch to Gutierrez, a fastball for a strike at 90, 0-1. Gutierrez had the big home run in the fifth inning. Hitless outside of that, he's 1 for 2. He has also walked that all the way back in the first inning. 0-1, the pitch to Gutierrez, outside for a ball. That one at 85 as Queen took a little bit off. Queen with some sandy blonde hair curling out of the back of his cap. Goes through the stretch and delivers the 1-1 down low. And the count's 2-1, also sporting a goatee. He's a smallish, stocky pitcher. He's 6'1", not too small, but he's 230. Kind of built like more of a catcher. But he can throw the heat. 2 balls and a strike. Here comes the pitch. In tight for a ball, and it's now 3-1. That one at 87. Throwing almost exclusively fastballs, as you would expect for somebody coming out of the bullpen at this stage in the game. The 3-1 lifted right field. Moving over to his right is Douglas, and he should make the catch, and he does, and we will have extra innings. To the 9th-10th we go. A 7-7 tie at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
At Davis Moore, we pride ourselves on our ability to provide a safe and reliable driving experience to all of our customers. When we say that safety is our top priority, we mean it. That's why every single one of our pre-owned vehicles goes through a 171-point inspection before it ever goes on our lot. And with our Davis Moore 360 guarantee, you can drive forever, worry-free. So let us prove to you that we have the best car care and best customer experience and why nobody beats a Davis Moore deal. Come by any one of our 5 Davis Moore locations or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
Attention up pitching for the Bowling Bombers, San Diego Waves, number 26, Zach.
This guy's 6'9", the pitcher. Well, it'll be an interesting look that the Cheney Diamond Dogs will get as they stare out on the mound, because Zach Haupt has come in relief for the San Diego Waves. And Zach Haupt from Carlsbad, California, is 6 feet 9 inches tall. That is the same height that Randy Johnson is, of course, the former flamethrower in the major leagues for the Montreal Expos, Seattle Mariners. 6 feet 9 inches tall. Now, as I was watching him warm up, he does come from a little bit of a sidearm delivery. It's not completely over the top where you get that angle coming down at you, but still at 6'9". This will be interesting, but we've got extra innings. Here's Tristan Kennard to lead off inning number 10 for Cheney in a 7-7 tie. And Haupt's first pitch is outside at 82 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes. Haupt is pitching for the University of Sioux Falls, where he's a sophomore. The 1-0 catches the outside edge at 85. That was a fastball. And the count's now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We're tied at 7. And for the second consecutive game today at the NBC World Series, we've got extra innings. Pitch fouled back and out of play, and it's now 1-2. Earlier today, the National Junior College national team overcame a 4-run deficit in the bottom of the 9th inning to tie San Diego's force 6-6, and then they won it a few innings later. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Kennard down on strikes to start the top of the 10th inning. So 1 away for Kyler Castillo. So Castillo steps in from the right side against the tall right-handed pitcher. Haupt, by the way, pitches from the stretch and delivers one outside for a ball. Castillo showed bunt briefly. Not sure if that was his true intent. Maybe just trying to keep the defense honest, but pulled it back nonetheless. It was outside 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, outside edge, a strike at 85. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyler Castillo hitless tonight, but he's been consistently going up the middle as this one misses away. He's got 3 ground balls to shortstop and 1 to second base that started a 4-6-3 double play. 2-1 pitch inside for a ball, and the count's now 3-1. One of his ground balls to short was booted by Mitch Morales, the shortstop. The 3-1 outside edge, it's a strike at 85, and the count's now full at 3-2. The full count pitch, he reaches out, bounces one out to second, fielded there by Palm, throws to first just in the nick of time. And the second out of the inning, Kyler Castillo, a 4-3 putout. So that'll bring up Hunter Douglas now, the right fielder. Douglas adjusting his batting gloves before he steps in from the right side of the plate. First pitch he sees from Haupt. He swings at and lifts it high on the infield. The first baseman Saucedo calling. A few steps away from the bag, he makes the catch, and an easy 1-2-3 for Haupt. in the top of the 10th inning. So we go to the bottom of the 10th, still tied at 7 at the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM. Bottom of the 10th inning we go now in a 7-7 tie as the San Diego Waves will get their second consecutive chance to get a walk-off win and move to 1-0 in championship week of the NBC World Series. Brian Rosario, who came off the bench to play in right field a few innings ago, will lead off the inning. He's got one at bat tonight, and he was caught looking back in the 8th inning. First pitch to Rosario as he was showing bunt there, but pulls back for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Rosario, then Mitch Morales and Kyle Palm, 8-9-1 for San Diego, needing just one to win it in the bottom of the 10th inning, tied at 7. Fastball by Queen inside. 2 balls and no strikes, the count to Rosario. Connor Queen exclusively working from the stretch, delivers inside for a ball. And the count's now 3 balls and no strikes. So we've had a ton of walks tonight, hit batsmen as well. Several times leadoff walks that have come back to haunt the pitcher and defense behind him. Connor Queen certainly doesn't want to do that with the game on the line here in the bottom of the 10th inning of a tie game. He does deliver a fastball. 3 balls and a strike. That one at 89 on the outside corner. It's now 3-1. 7 runs, 9 hits for the San Diego Waves. 7 runs, 8 hits for Cheney. The 3-1 lined the other way. Down the line, that's a fair ball just inside the line in left field. That'll be extra base as it caroms off the fence. And down to second base goes Rosario with a leadoff double. So a good piece of hitting right there as he sliced one right down the left field line. And then it took a tricky hop. He was going to get a double anyway. The odd carom off the corner of the fence really didn't matter. It was a double anyway. But a big one now is Mitch Morales bunting. They're playing tight at the corners, expecting it. If Morales can get the runner to third, then the game-winning run would be 90 feet away. He pulls back, and it's called a strike on the first pitch. A fastball at 90, I think Morales thought was low, and he pulled back, but it was called a strike, 0-1. Andrew Miller at first, playing very tight now. Morales already showing bunt, and he swings instead. Bouncing ball up the middle, fielded it short. The throw will be to first, and the runner, though, gets to third base. On a high bouncing ball by Morales, he showed bunt initially, then pulled it back at the last second and swung at it and bounced one to second. So now the infield will come in because down to third goes Rosario. 1 out, but all Kyle Palm has to do now is even get a fly ball deep enough to the outfield for Rosario to tag and score. The infield is in, the outfield is in. With the game on the line, Kyle Palm at the plate, the first pitch. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 to Palm. Palm reached on a throwing error his last time up. He's reached on an error, been hit by a pitch, and walked twice tonight. No base hits, but nonetheless a busy night on the base paths. The 0-1 lifted to right field. This is going to end the game. It's deep to right center. Going back is Douglas. He can't come up with it. He drops the ball diving. Here comes the run from third. Rosario scores, and San Diego wins the game by the final score of 8-7. Kyle Palm to deep right center field in the gap. Hunter Douglas dove for it, and it didn't really matter. It was deep enough whether he caught it or not. It was going to be an easy score for Rosario at third, who led off the inning with a double, and a big win for San Diego in a thriller. They are 1-0. Cheney is 0-1 to start championship week for them of the NBC tournament. So 8-7 the final in 10 innings. Back with the final wrap right after this.